What is up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the certifiably suave Dr. Disaster, and Lollipop Chainsaw RePop finally releases today, and you might have noticed that the major media companies are just ignoring it. At the time of this recording, early on release day, there are only 2 reviews of the game on Metacritic. It's not hard to guess why, for these games journalist prudes.
I think women and semen don't mix.
We knew what you think.
For all their talk of being progressive and liberated, these media types sure do act terrified whenever there's a female character that isn't shaped like an overweight grizzly bear on the screen. IGN, as an example, has not posted a review, but instead they published a small article a month or so ago reminding everyone that they gave the game a 5 out of 10, originally 10 years ago. Meanwhile, the game developers of Lollipop Chainsaw RePop have assured us that it is censorship-free and de novo-free. This is a game that is clearly on the side of the gamers, unlike game journos who can only be bothered to review games when they're made by corporate activist types and feature the message ad nauseum.
If an item does not appear in our records, it does not exist.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where I keep a list of games lousy with woke crap pinned to the account for your reference. My handle on the platform is Dr. Disaster1. But anyhow, let's talk about Lollipop Chainsaw RePop. There does seem to be a coordinated campaign by mainstream media types to ignore this title, which it's strange that they would feel so threatened by this game. It was a cult favorite 10 or so years ago. There was a niche group of people who loved this title, but it's not like it sold incredibly well or anything like that. It was a comparatively minor hit that used word of mouth in order to sell a bit over 1 million copies back in the day. So why are they feeling so threatened? Clearly, every time there's a character like Juliet in Lollipop Chainsaw, or like Eve in Stellar Blade, these people freak out. They were particularly pissy with Eve, as you may remember, because it gained so much traction and sold incredibly well. But to be clear, I don't actually think that this game, that Lollipop Chainsaw, will sell very well. The marketing campaign, unlike the campaign for Stellar Blade, has been practically non-existent and just plain old piss poor. And that's pretty telling, isn't it? When a game has virtually no marketing campaign, the mainstream media ignores it. If I didn't know better, I'd think that these AAA corporate game studios were involved in pay-to-play operations with the game media. In other words, when a company like Ubisoft or EA flies journalists to exotic locations and gifts them trips to Disneyland and things like that, it's weird how we see non-stop coverage of their games and glowing reviews, despite the fact that the games might be dog shit and that gamers often don't even like them. But since you won't hear much about the game in the mainstream, I thought I'd give you whatever information I can so that you can still make a reasonably informed decision about Lollipop Chainsaw RePop. Let's look at the 2 reviews that are provided in Metacritic. The first one says, Lollipop Chainsaw RePop is the perfect example of how a remaster should be done. It respects the source material, significantly improves the technical aspects, and adds content that fans will appreciate. It's a game that understands its identity and fully embraces it, offering an experience that is both nostalgic and fresh. Sounds like they're doing the opposite of Silent Hill 2, in other words, which went out of its way to appeal to the modern audience. If Bloober Team had done this game, you just know that Juliet would be 70 pounds overweight and she'd have a skin condition. But here's the second review. It says, Lollipop Chainsaw RePop brings the beloved 2012 zombie slaying classic back with smoother combat and new content. Protagonist Juliet Starling's journey mixes humor and action, though the game's pacing is slowed by overly long stages and gimmicky minigames. While boss fights underwhelm, the satisfying upgrade system and campy charm make it worth revisiting. The remake introduces quality of life improvements and additional cosmetic options for players to enjoy. So yeah, once again, this sounds like it might be a game worth checking out. It's pretty damn sad that the games journalists out there can't be bothered to do their job and even give this game a review, to the point that on its launch day, Lollipop Chainsaw RePop doesn't even have a Metacritic score, and yet somehow these asswipes want me to believe that they don't have an agenda. Yeah, right. But I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully this video helps to give you enough information to make your own decision. I'm not sure if it's the fact that Juliet is a gorgeous female character, or the fact that this game has not had a lot of money spent on marketing, but why do you think that these people refuse to talk about the game? Drop your thoughts and some mockery of games journalists in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.